what's up? We are back.
We back.
Let's go.
Hey, hey man.
Look at this shit.
We changed the location up on y'all just a little bit. Look at the drip. Woo! Look at the drip.
Let's go.
And if y'all can't tell, we real excited about that.
Hell yeah.
We've been slowly putting little things in the works as far as our logo, our brand, and trying to push that forward. So this is the first little things that we're going to be changing in regards to the image beyond the rounds. So hope y'all like it. We're
I'm super excited about this.
Yeah,
This shit looks dope. Now we can see our little screen right there. Yeah, so hopefully you guys like it. Again, this is a new spot for us. We're in the cage right now. We're freaking locked in. We locked ourselves in here. Yeah, I'm super excited. I'm super excited about the future. Real excited about what's to come. So yeah, shoot. Thank you guys. Thank you for being here with us. This is episode 3, and yeah, we're back at it.
Yeah, and so also too, so we dropped episode 2 last Thursday.
Yep.
So we're trying to get more frequent with the content. We got some time now because, like we said, the fights just wrapped up. We're still in training. Our training never stops.
No.
But with all that said, we're still conscious about keeping the consistent flow of content. So we're going to try to get you guys episodes on a weekly basis. The goal is bi-weekly, but weekly when we can. So just be on the lookout for it. I know we didn't give you guys a preview that our Win 3 was going to come out. So surprise.
Yeah, we're
back with the drip.
Yeah, again, like you said, we're still training and stuff. We just had camp a little while ago. We're actually here pretty late. We had to deal with some like a homeless dude.
Yeah, disrespectful.
Threw some nachos at the gym, man. Left a bunch of nachos. Said, we didn't say anything. Marcus seen him. I'm like,
I didn't see him throw the nachos. Like, he's been like a regular dude. Like he'll come around, he'll look through the window, and we'll say hey and all this. So I seen him tonight, and he was sitting like he looked through the front window because the door of the gym.
He's watching this man.
Yeah, I watched the file later. So he looks through the window and stares at real quick, and he sits down because we got bricks outside, like bricks at about like 2 feet from the ground. So he's sitting there. And then maybe 5 minutes later, he gets up, he just beelines towards the street. So we don't think nothing of it. So then as we're going to take off, I can't finish up, everybody's leaving, the team was here. We're like, man, look down. this dude just, not like I accidentally dropped it. It's like, hey, I'm going to disrespect these guys. Like, we something, like we violated something in his brain.
You should let him in, man. Maybe it's cold. I don't know.
Yeah, anyhow. So
he was like, screw these guys.
And you can tell from the way it was scattered around that it was...
Actually, yeah. As soon as you open our front door, chips and salsa everywhere, man. Just spread out everywhere. I was like, what the hell, man? We weren't looking for him. He wasn't there.
The disrespectful intent was obvious. So, anyhow...
and wasteful, too, man. It actually smelled good. Like, man, it smells like nachos out here. It smells good. And you're just going to throw, man, whatever.
I don't know what we did to him.
So, anyway, we're here late. We're getting set up and stuff. But, yeah, we're still here. We're still, like I said, we're still training and stuff. But, yeah, like you said, make sure you guys comment and stuff. Make sure you guys get in that comment section, whether on Instagram or YouTube. Because we want to be... we want to be mindful that we're checking that, getting you guys' insight. And actually, we're going to come back to a few weeks ago, we had a question from Cody, who's actually one of our fighters here at Valley Fight Club.
Shout out, Cody.
He said, I have a question. Maybe you guys can answer in your next video. In your opinion, what are some of the key mental traits that separate pro fighters and amateur fighters? And, shout out to Cody. That's a great freaking question. Thank you for getting involved with it and stuff. I'll let Marcus go first and tell us what he thinks about it. Key mental traits that separate pro fighters from amateur fighters.
So I had to sit and think about it for a little bit because on our team right now, me and Diamond are actually the only 2 pro fighters on the team, but we have a fairly big team. We got like 12.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
12 plus people on our team. And everyone other than me and Diamond are amateurs. And a lot of these guys that we have on the team are right at the cusp of that transition. as far as their skill, as far as their commitment.
Yeah.
So for him to ask that, I would consider him being one of those individuals. So I would say one of the biggest things for that transition is, I think I probably gonna sound like a broken record because I said it at least one time in prior episodes, but discipline and consistency. Also commitment too. And those are things that you have to decide prior. Like, am I going to be able to be committed? Am I going to have the amount of time to afford the discipline and the ability to be consistent as much as I need to in order to make this transition? Because it's a significant transition as far as the amount of training that you got to put in, the amount of skills that you have to develop to deal with these individuals who might be training completely full time. Some guys like myself, and not even for that matter, this is not our primary thing. We still have some obligations as far as employment and work capacity. I'm a full-time coaching here at Valley Fight Club, which is where we're at right now. In case you guys didn't know, we were at the home gym.
Yeah.
Me, I work full-time, 40 plus hours a week. So there's a lot of time that you have to commit outside of those other obligations to make sure that you can be competitive come fight day. And if you know that there's questions regarding your discipline and consistency and your commitment, because sometimes it's just mental, like, I'm not feeling it today. Like, I'm tired. I just worked freaking 8+ hours. I've been up since 5 a.m. Now I got to go to the gym and train 5 p.m. to, whenever, 9 o'clock, 4 or 5 hour training days after working. So if you know you can't make that commitment to be ready come time for you to fight, I would say stop right there. Reassess everything and decide if that's what you want to do, if that's something that you have the desire to do. Because on top of having to do all that, you have to have a real desire to do this. Because fighting ain't something that you just, I'm going to do. Just going to pick up and do it to do it. There's plenty of other things you can do out there that are way less painful, that require a lot less sacrifice. So those three things, I would say commitment, discipline, consistency are key. They're not the only things, but those are one of the first things that you should really sit down and have that conversation with yourself first, and then with the people who matter, who are going to help you stay true to those three things: your significant other, your family members, all of those things, because they all matter. Trust me, they all matter when it comes down to being the best you could be come fight day.
Absolutely, I think it all matters. Even if you have all of those, you are disciplined, you are committed enough to do this. Absolutely this is what you want to do, and you're going to go for it. And you have to make sure you actually have that ability to do it. We get a lot of guys that that train, that want to fight and stuff, but the way you're making money, however you're providing for your family and stuff, you still have to do all of those things. And if it's not feasible for you to actually be here and train, or be at your gym and train and take care of your family, take care of your kids, take care of your wife, or whatever it is you have going on, you still have to make sure you have that ability. So it's gonna be kind of tough, you know what I mean, dealing with that, having to go back and forth between that life and being at your gym training and stuff. So even if you have that discipline and that desire, you got to make sure you got to fit your training in when you can, because that's always going to come first. When it comes to fighting, you have to put your training in. You have to put the time in on the mat. You have to put your time in the ring. And if you're not able to do that, it doesn't just manifest. It's not one of those things that just comes together for you. You got to be in here putting the time in. And I think that's the difference between one of those mental things of being an amateur or being a pro, is that that, and there's kind of nothing that's going to get in your way. Most people, there's a lot of fighters out there that are just doing it just because, especially amateur fighters. They're just doing it because their buddy did it, or they seem to look cool, or they think they're going to get girls or rich and famous from it. Yeah, sadly, that's not how it works. It doesn't work that way. I mean, for some, maybe it does, but that's also an amateur mindset. You know what I mean? I'm going to go out there have some fun, win, blah, 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 and hang out, party, and do this and that. and
pictures on my profile that I can post.
Yeah, get your pictures on Instagram, and
so the honeys will like it. Real quick,
act like a badass and look
jump
good.
in their DMs and all that stuff, and that you know, and that's the amateur mindset. And the thing of it is, like, to go off your point, you can get away with that at the amateur mindset to a degree.
At the amateur level, sometimes,
you can definitely get away with it if you're skilled enough and talented enough. If you're just an athlete, a lot of times, you can get away with that. Like, I'm a half-ass trained, I'm a half-ass be in the gym, I'm gonna pop in here 2-3 days maybe out of the week, and still go into the fight and win the fight. You know.
And then feel like you've done enough.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to being a pro, you know that's not
that
goes out the window. So we're talking amateur fights. Most of them are 3 2-minute rounds. So you got a 2-minute round, then you got a 1-minute break, and then you got another 2-minute round, 1-minute break, so on and so forth. At the pro level, your first round is 5 minutes, and then you still get that 1-minute break, but that second round is 5 minutes. That third round is also 5 minutes. So, one, just being in the gym, working out and stuff, that's going to save your life when you're in there. Because, I don't know, I've never been in this situation, but I can imagine, like, I've been tired at the gym. You know what I mean? I've been tired when we're working, doing all this stuff. There's nothing worse than being in the gym or being tired and somebody in front of you still fresh and they're trying to kick your ass, right? So if you're in the middle of a fight and you're tired and somebody's trying to take your head off, I can only imagine that's gotta suck.
And money's on the line.
So
there's that extra incentive, because a lot of the professional contracts are incentivized by the win. So you get so much money to show up, like the step in the cage and the bell ring. You get your money. But then you get additional monies for winning. So it's that extra incentive to continue to push, to continue to drive. So if you're the fighter who's tired and fatigued, and the other fighter across the cage is like, hey, I'm 1 or 2 more strikes away from a paycheck, you're going to get it. Because you're the only thing in front of their paycheck. Because some of these guys, that's their only source of income. So trust me, like, there's a big difference incentive-wise and skill-wise when it comes to pro and amateur. And just that made me think about it when Diamond just said it's 2-3 minute rounds as an amateur, right? So
3 2-minute rounds.
I say jacked up.
I think so.
Yeah, 3. Yeah, I did say jacked up. 3
2-minute rounds.
2-minute rounds.
Yeah.
So with that whole fight, right?
6 minutes.
Yeah, 6 minutes total. It's 6 minutes total. You doing 6 minutes in a pro fight just in the first round between the 5 minutes and the 1-minute break, and you still got technically with the breaks 12 more minutes of no, because the last round you don't get a break, so you got 11 more minutes that you got to be in there. You know, if you don't get stopped or finished, so that's a whole world of difference when you're talking about how much adversity you might have to face if you don't prepare properly. So with all that, there's so many things, man. Like I feel like this question is so loaded because there's so many components of, you know, the mental traits that come with it. You know, that come with being ready in the fight, because it's not just about you. I mean, I'm thinking about it. It's also has to do with like significant others. Like if you're in a situation where your significant other you guys live together, maybe you have young family, your commitment to coming to train is there's going to have to be a compromise between you and your significant other. And if they're not on board, that can potentially cause some conflict. And that's a difficult thing to deal with. Having conflict with, you know, my number one person, you know, who is my person outside of the gym, because they're my support. They're the person who I decided to make this commitment with life to.
Right.
But they have issue with the amount of sacrifice that comes with me committing to fighting. And it's amplified at the pro level. You know, it's amplified.
Way more
amplified. So even that's a whole nother freaking episode. We can talk
about
that for.
I was like, damn, man.
So this question is great because it's so loaded, and I don't want to like skip over anything, because those all play a factor in the mental traits that allow you to go into a competition or fight with the best preparedness that you can come into.
Right.
But those are all the areas that you have to cover before you even sign a contract. Like, hey, baby, if you deal with me taking this fight, this is what it's going to take. So we got 7-week fight camp.
Yeah.
It's going to be in Southern California. So I'm going to have to go out there this amount of time, whatever the case may be. All these things. Are you good with that? Do you know what that means? You know what that comes with? Because you're telling me yes right now. You know, but once I start fight camp, or 3 weeks at a fight camp, are you still going to be with me? You know, because if not, that could potentially cause us some turmoil. But those are things that most fighters don't recognize or understand until they're knee deep into training. I didn't know that. I didn't recognize that, and I had to learn that through attrition. Like, man.
Yeah, I think we've all had to go through that talk with, you know, our people at home, just let them know what's going on, and you know, hey, I'm doing this. Everyone's like really on board because it is an exciting thing. It is, you know, I'm gonna go out there and fight. You know, I'm taking this fight, but you know, when it comes down to it, you do got to be at the gym as freaking often as possible. You are here putting in long hours, and then it's like, yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing again tomorrow. So it's like everything you were supposed to do at home, that's got to get done much earlier now or much earlier in the day. Your sleep schedule, everything gets messed up just because you're trying to move stuff around so much. But there's no there's no way around it. Those things do have to get moved around. And I know it sounds like we're throwing a lot of negative stuff out there. I don't want it to feel that way at all.
Nah.
There is a lot of sacrifice that has to come with it. That's why being an amateur fighter, a lot of people do it for a while until everything gets, you know, situated for them and everything is able to come in line between their job, their work, their family, and how everything goes. If you are fortunate enough to where you don't have a whole lot to worry about, and you do have that dedication, you do have this passion and this love for mixed martial arts or boxing or whatever it is. I mean, but I think I'm pretty sure when it comes to being a professional in any sport, there's going to be something along those lines. Whether it's basketball or baseball or something, you still got to put that time in, and there's going to be a big sacrifice there. But I believe it's worth it. I think I have the greatest job in the world, whether it comes to being in the corner, coaching my guys, or being here at the gym, or being out there myself inside the cage. For me, this is the greatest job in the world, and I love what I do. But that's, you know, not without saying there's a lot that comes with it.
Yeah. I feel the same way until somebody checks one of my kicks. Then I'm like, man, I appreciate this. Oh, dang, this sucks. Why am I doing this? No, I'm just but yeah, I agree with Diamond. You know, I wouldn't still be doing this for as long. I'm an older cat. You know, I'm late 30s, so and I'm saying, yeah, damn. That's exactly. Kevin Hart. You know, it's a I seen how you said it. We can play this back. We play.
No, I said,
Damn, like yeah.
Good feeling.
So anyhow, yeah, you know, I'm an older cat, and I'm still fortunate enough to be able to do this at a higher level, at a pro level, and everything took because people ask me like, man, why you wait so late to do all this stuff? Well, one, all these things I just talked about. I was a young father. I still was trying to figure out my career. I was young in my career, trying to figure out my finances because coming to the gym and working my job and having to do overtime just to make ends meet, that was priority. So I had, you know, I had baby now. So it was something that I couldn't commit all that sacrifice to. So it took me to mature in my career, to earn a little bit more money, to get established with my schedule, to figure things out on the home life with family and all that stuff. So they were like, they understood what that sacrifice commitment looked, and then it actually started to become routine. So I was doing this so long that was just part of the routine. It wasn't like, oh, you're just doing this recreationally and this is going to come to an end. It's like,
this is a hobby.
Yeah, this is a hobby because this is a hobby phase. So I'm allowed for this to be this way or make these sacrifices for this amount of time. And then when it was like, no, you actually could make something of this. And I had those conversations like, I want to continue to pursue this to see how far I can go because I believe I have potential to go far. And I need you guys' support for me to see how far I can go. But now they know what that support looks like. And so those are conversations that I had. And once everybody was on board, I was able to to sprint towards that. But it took me, almost a good part of 10 years to get to where I could do it and still be okay financially, with having my family taken care of and all that.
It took about 10 years to learn that leg kick.
Yeah. It took like 12 years to learn that leg kick.
That's why I'm talking shit.
Yeah.
That's what it was. He was waiting for his leg kick
Like,
to get on point to the pro level.
Yeah, that's what it was. And so now that I'm there. But yeah, with all that said, I know we're circling on this question, but
yeah, it was a great question.
Yeah, it was a great question.
Yeah,
I mean, the shit, that's damn near our whole episode, but I'm not mad at it because there's, like I said, there's so many moving parts about it that I don't want to miss anything because.
Yeah, I feel like we can keep kind of talking about this just because yeah, like you said, it's a loaded question, man. There's a lot that comes into it. And, but mentally, he said mentally, I'll just say be strong.
Yeah.
Be strong mentally, man. Just do it. Just don't be a baby about it. Nah, but be consistent. Even when it comes to fighting, I get guys that ask me all the time, like, how do I get on the fight team? Or how do I be a fighter? Or how do I get a fight?
All the time.
And my main answer is just consistency. So, okay, now that you've said, or now that you've showed interest or asked me, hey, I want to fight, or how do I get on this? Now I know that you have interest. I'll keep my eye out a little bit more. But it's mainly consistency. You just got to be here. Once you're here and you're training, and you're picking up stuff from everywhere, and you're in the gym, you're learning, you're going to this class. You're not just showing up for one class and leaving. You're going to this one, then this one, then this one. You know, it shows that you're interested. You actually do get better. You start helping out the people that are close to you and around you. You start getting a lot better, and it kind of just manifests from there. But it starts with consistency. It starts with being able to be here. Whatever it takes for you to get here, like, you know, that's a lot of stuff mentally that you got to deal with at home, whatever it is at your job, that type of stuff. But being here is, I think, the most important thing when it just comes to fighting. Not just necessarily being a professional, but when you start being a pro, then a lot more stuff becomes involved with it. You know, because now you're getting paid.
Yeah.
Now it matters now.
Yeah, we're not even talking about contracts because that's not what the question is like. But we're talking contracts and different. At the regional level, you got different
obligations.
Yeah,
So,
I got a promotion that's contacted me earlier today that want me on the card. That's right a week before another promotion is trying to beat me back on the card. All these other obligations. So, and those things all kind of navigate, you know, different opportunities that follow those.
yeah.
So we're not even talking about that. But another thing, because mentally we're talking about it before we actually went live, the psychological end of things. That's one of the biggest things because I've seen some guys that have all the skill. Like, I don't consider myself to be a overly blessed fighter when it comes to skill. I do a few things well, and I figure out how to implement them in the fight. So if I want to credit myself for anything, it's fight IQ. But I know that I realistically assess that about myself. I take that into the fight. But one thing that I always reinforce in my mind is that regardless of what adversity I might face, that I can and will do everything that is necessary to come out of that cage victorious. And that doesn't always
it doesn't always work that way.
yeah, it does. Yeah, it doesn't always translate to.
But that mindset.
Yeah, it doesn't always translate to me get my hand raised.
Right.
You know, but that mindset that's what it's going to be from start to finish is the biggest difference maker between guys that come in and they have long careers and they're successful, and guys that have all the talent in the world and they fizzle out because they meet some adversity or they take their first loss or whatever the case may be, and they just can't get over that mental hurdle. You know, some guys, they freeze themselves up completely before they actually walk into the cage because they let all these factors, you know, just freeze them. They let all these fears and these intangibles that really don't matter when you're in the cage.
No.
They don't at all. The only thing that matters is you implementing your game plan, best of your abilities against the other person and finding ways to be successful, even through adversity. That's all that matters.
That's it.
But people get caught up about, you know, this at home and
Yeah.
how I look and my girls in the crowd and what my coworkers going to say if I don't win or what are my friends going to say about me.
There's a lot of people here.
Yeah, and you have to know, you have to deal with it. With the good comes the bad. You know, you're gonna have people who will praise you when your hand gets raised, and you'll have people who will criticize the hell out of you when you don't.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
You go, oh, I thought you were gonna knock me out sooner. I thought you were gonna do this.
Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Being able to take that with stride. You know what I mean? Take it with stride because it's coming. It's coming. You can't avoid it. You know, random people you don't know are gonna walk up to you and say, "Yeah, man,
That's the best, bro.
Yeah,
that's the best."
You know, it depends on if it's the best, because man,
no, it's always funny, no matter what it is. I
Yeah.
think it's always funny. But especially when you lose, it's the best.
people
You get the best advice when you lose. Let me tell you, I lost my last fight by a choke. They're like, oh. And the stuff people are telling me, holy shit, why didn't I think of that? Damn, you're right. I should have just did
Yeah, well, thank you. And these are people, some of these people, you know, have some credibility behind their advice. Maybe they're fighters or coaches or whatever. But a lot of these people are people who have never stepped in the cage. They never took a punch, threw a punch, you know, any of that. But that's part of the game.
Yeah.
You can't have that criticism, whether it be good, bad, constructive, break you from the psychological seeding in your brain that no matter what, I'm the best me that I can be, and the best me that I can be is always able to be successful when I step in this cage. Always. Period. In the story. Like, nobody can convince me otherwise. If I sign a contract and I come in to train and I do everything we're talking about, I committed, I'm disciplined, I'm consistent, nobody's going to walk in there feeling like they can beat me. And if they do, they're in for a rude awakening.
Yeah.
Because you got to walk through hell to beat me. You might feel like you won, but you really didn't after the fight's over. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how much hell I try to put you through, because I will not be convinced that I cannot win. I can't be convinced that I will not win. And that's not to say that I don't get nervous. That's not to say that at times I'm like, man. But I work all that out when I'm here in the gym. You know? So when I step in that cage, all of that's white noise, you know?
And I think if you are that person that, you know, because that's kind of the mindset that we step in there with. You know, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna handle my business no matter what kind of adversity comes towards me. If you're the type of person that we're facing and you also have that mindset, I guess it's gonna be a damn good fight then. It's gonna be a great fucking fight.
Hey, yeah, exactly, because you see it, you feel it.
And yeah, you can tell when somebody's gonna whether they're gonna break or if they're just gonna step in and dig their feet down. Yeah. It's like, oh shit.
And those fights, at times it's like, oh damn.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, I was hoping he was one of those withered type cats. Yeah. But you know what? I really get to see what my push is. I get somebody who's gonna test me, and this is what I need. And I'm not saying it's fun when you realize it, because it's not. But you do get to fit once it's all said and done. It's like, you know what, I know what I'm made of. I know what I'm capable of. And I'm a destructive, devastating force when I need to be. Woo! As calm as a peaceful creek. Yeah. You know, when I don't, when it's necessary for me to just be that, and that's a beautiful thing. You know, and a lot of that you can't really know until you're in those situations. But having that psychological mindset already established before you get there
is a great advantage.
Yes.
It's a great advantage.
And that actually breaks people when they see it. Some people who don't have that, at least opponents, when they see that from you, it's evident in the way you're moving, the way you're pushing, the way you're fighting, the way you're grinding. That's enough to break them. Even if they're a better skill.
They know you're not going to go anywhere. They know that their night just got a whole hell of a lot worse. Damn, man, that was a great question.
It was.
Pretty much. Yeah, we ate up a lot of time with that question.
Like, that wasn't even like the intent. The plan was to talk about what we was going to talk about tonight.
Yeah, we had a whole list.
And then lead into Cody's question, answer Cody's question.
My phone set up and everything. we had everything written out. Right, cool. We're gonna hit this note. We're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk. No, we're not. We're gonna talk about Cody's question.
I'm happy for it, because that was, I think, a lot of good dialogue that we don't typically get to talk about. There's usually things that we talk about amongst each other in fight camp.
Yeah,
you know, because those
are questions that we can talk to, you know, like up and coming fighters and people that have that question and stuff. for us to actually sit down and think about it. Like we said, there's like a lot more that goes into it, but yeah, I think we touched on mainly the basic parts of what you need and how it's going to be when you're trying to be a professional athlete or fighter or whatever it is. So yeah, shit. Shout out
to Cody.
Yeah, man, great job, buddy.
Hey, we call it episode 3 Cody's question.
Cody's question. That's it.
So yeah.
Yeah, Cody left that question on YouTube in the comment section. So we said we do like to read those. We do see those, and yeah, hopefully that encourages you guys to actually get to leaving more comments on questions in there. You can also send it to us on Instagram, right?
I see. Nah, I'm not even gonna say encourage. Like, do it.
Just
do it. Anything, whatever you guys thinking. Like, if you got like general questions, if you got like some comments on things, maybe you went to the fight and you were like, "Hey, this happened. Can you explain that to me? Because I don't really understand." All that stuff. Like, I love it. I love getting those questions just to help people who are legitimately interested understand, the fight game better and understand what we got going on. Like, if you have the you commit the time to watch this and see this, and you have questions, shoot them. Even if you don't think they're relevant to what we're talking about, we'll make time to respond to you in one way or another, whether it's on podcast or on IG. So please like, share,
comment,
comment.
Yeah,
big one, comment,
all that stuff. Yeah,
do all that. Do all that.
Yeah. Like we said, we do see those. We are going to do our best to get to every question, or you know what I mean. Look at what you guys have got going on, or questions for us, or comments, and even criticism. People talking shit on Instagram. God,
yeah.
Woo. People are funny on Instagram.
Yeah, there's some funny characters out there.
Some funny characters.
But we look. I got responses. So yeah, encourage it though.
Yeah.
Like I said, when it comes to this game, especially being on the internet and all that stuff, it comes with it. We are aware of it, so yeah. I encourage it. If you have something that you want to say, you hit us up on any one of those forums. So yeah.
Yeah, you can't take yourself too serious either. That's one more thing for being pro. You can't take yourself too serious. Everyone's gonna have something to say, so take it with a grain of salt. Unless it's those close to you. If they're close to you, then you know what I mean. You can listen to them and weigh out what they've said.
Yeah, people who have your best interests at heart. The people who matter and the people who are instrumental in getting you prepared to go in there and do what you want to do as far as being a fighter. Those people, you take that, you take the value in what's said in those conversations. Everything else made us up. Like, I'm here, I just had my fight. Things didn't necessarily go how I wanted them to, but hey, here on the podcast.
If you would have just did this, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was looking at you. Like, you didn't hear me yelling? Just get up.
Stand up, bro.
Bro. I told you like 4 times. You didn't hear me. Funny, the real shit. Somebody like
I was watching the corner. I was like, "Hey, you staring up, bro? What are you doing?"
But with all that, me being able to sit here and laugh about it, because it's funny. I find it funny. I take those things with a grain of salt, and I move on to the next. Now, granted, with all that said, we're working towards making those improvements where improvements need to be made, and even in victory, you still need to look for improvements. Always looking towards progress. So. Take those things, like I said, beating the dead horse with a grain of salt, and continue to move forward towards progress.
Yeah,
always.
Whether it's this or not, whether you're trying to be a fighter or anything, I think you can. Everything we said pretty much about being a pro fighter, take that into whatever you want in life, right? If you got a good dream or you're trying to do something that's outside the realm of what normal people are doing, I think consistency, hard work, dedication, all that stuff goes a long way. Being around people that are actually good for you, being around people that are close to you, that want the best for you, they have your best interests in mind. All that stuff's going to push you just further on your goal, further on that path of whatever you want, whatever you're trying to make out of your life. So fighting or not, recipe for success.
Yeah, all those components are essential. Trust me, I've learned it. I've been around long enough to learn that everything he just said is true. I would have stopped him if he was lying, but all true from what he was saying too. I would have.
But coming up on our time, again, thank you very much, Cody. That was a great question. We knew that it was going to be a good question that we had to sit around because we sat around for a couple minutes talking about it, and yeah, it kind of went further just because it's a great damn question. Like we said, that wasn't the whole plan for our episode. We just knew we wanted to get that in there. That's why we said it first, actually.
Yeah,
So let's get to Cody's question, and then boom, here we are now. But yeah, leave those comments, leave your suggestions. Again, follow us on Instagram because that's where we do a whole brunt of the work, our videos, our training footage, what we have coming up, little clips and stuff here and there. That's where we're going to be putting up polls. We do have a few questions to ask you guys as far as what we're doing next and a couple of stuff that we have in mind for the podcast and the show and how everything's going to go. So make sure you guys check us out there because
we'll have polls actually popping up soon to where we want to get you guys insight on some of the things that we had planned that we want to do and what you would prefer to see. So be on the lookout for those polls.
Yeah.
Because some of them want to just be fun and some of them are going to be content based. So we want your input on it. Look out for those. They'll be popping up soon. They ain't gonna hold you up much longer. Shit, this is our longest episode. So
yeah.
Boy,
damn. Freaking Cody, man.
I'm past my bedtime, man. Shit.
This guy.
Stomach ground like spice. I don't think the bike thing down.
Yeah. Last 9 minutes, I've been thinking about those nachos.
Yeah.
How can you miss those nachos, man?
Yeah.
God. Don't waste.
Yeah.
Here's a message we're going to leave you with, all right? Don't waste a good thing. Train hard. No, I'm just kidding. I don't got nothing to say about that.
On a serious note,
yeah.
There's one thing that just popped up in my head the other day. Actually, I was having a conversation with other people. But the saying is, don't confuse movement with progress. Because you can run in place all day and not get anywhere. So if you have something that you're aspiring to do, whatever it may be, not just fight related, but just in life, make sure that you're putting a plan in place to actually move in that direction and make progress. And not just movement. Actually,
take a step
good
forward.
Progress. Yeah, forward towards that goal. And it may take you some time, but don't give up. Stay consistent. Keep the right people around you and reap the benefits of all your work. So, serious note on that one.
Dropping gems on that one.
Boom. So with that, we'll see you guys within the next 2 weeks.
There you go.
Within the next 2 weeks. Beyond the Rounds podcast. Appreciate y'all.
Let us know what you think about our setup that we got going on here. Yeah. We're in the cage right now. This one we're doing a shit ton of work. Yay! Blood, sweat, and tears in this cage. We might as well get some work out of it.
Yeah. So we actually got a couple more locations we'll drop on y'all, so you'll get to see pretty much the whole gym at some point. Yeah. But let us know what you think about the cage. Let us know what you think about the drip. Woo! Boom!
Look at this sign, man.
Cool.
Look at this sign.
All right, y'all. We out. Y'all have a good one.
Peace.